Oh, Dow. Before we start this fire video, I need y'all to listen to my music. I go by the name Manny Mac as I rap, sing, and produce the whole trifecta. Just like who we're talking about today, I produce and I rap too, but I also sing. And you have to look at my music. Manny Mac is on all streaming platforms. And like and subscribe and comment on this video right now. All right, Dow. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start my 5-minute timer and we'll talk about it. This album, I'll Sleep When You're Dead, is my favorite hip hop album of all time and is one of the two albums that I think are perfect. Bar none, 10 out of 10. Every song, 10 out of 10. Perfect, beautiful album. Let me open this up real quick so I don't go too much off the cuff. And the reason why I open this up is because we have the book right here with all the lyrics in it. A picture of LP, one of the greatest minds in hip hop ever, from underground to mainstream. This album is perfect. So I'm listening to this, and I first heard this in high school. This project made me produce because of how experimental Off the Wall is. I'm like, wow, wait a minute, no, hip hop really could be anything you want it to sound like, for real. And the lyrics are just so dense. I relate to LP being this very intuitive, very smart, nerdy kid. Of course, he's white, I'm black, but he's in Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn, still being very outcasted because of just his mind and his intellect, as well as him seeing beyond with his 1,000-yard gaze, as he says in one of these lyrics. And everything must go. Still being outcast, still feeling like everyone is dumb, not because he feels like everyone's beneath him, but because he feels like he's almost being gaslit by the hype of New York City or Brooklyn, but seeing a lot of stuff like corruption, seeing a lot of things like the president gets to go to school, we're stuck here in this borough. He also grew up in the 80s, which makes sense because he's bumping BDP and all this stuff, and he has this great punchline that says cops make gun whistles like check the melody. So you can hear the 80s influence, you can hear the Beastie Boys influence, Rick Rubin, as well as the BDP is LL Cool J. So he's growing up in the 80s, and if you know anything about the 80s in hip-hop inception, which LP clearly was witnessing growing up, was they took a lot from the artists. See, that's the thing. When the chips are down or people want authority, they take a lot away from the artists and the creators. We suffer the most. So he's still intuitive, still very smart. He has this line saying like he doesn't know how to lead, so he's insecure about his leadership abilities, though he's leading Def Jux at the time. And you have everything. You have conscious rap in here. You have punchlines. You have imagery. You have everything in here. You have humor. Aesop Rock has a phenomenal line and verse on here where he says, "I had a cure for cancer, but it wasn't radio friendly." Talking about basically how everything is so hyper marketed and you just want to destroy it. I mean, there's so much from allegory. I mean, the storytelling, for example, another great element of this on Habeas Corpus, where he's in the science fiction world where he falls in love with a prisoner who he has to kill. I mean, it's just beautiful. I can read these lyrics, but I only have 5 minutes. I mean, this is a phenomenal album, from production to lyrics to the feature. Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails is on here. This is a perfect album. I could cry talking about it if I had 6 hours to talk about it, but I'm dumbing it down to 5 minutes so people could actually watch this video. I recommend this to everyone who is interested in hip hop, rock, alternative, anyone. This album is beyond genre. It stands the test of time. I mean, from the Tasmanian pain culture all the way up to the end. I mean, one of the best thing about this album, or every song is my favorite song. Like, by the way, it's not like, I have a favorite song over the others. Every song here is my favorite song, and I really love. Hold on, let me read it from the back. The League of Extraordinary Nobodies. One thing is these song titles are very hard to remember because they're very verbose, like his rap style. But it's like a skit. It's like a skit. And you can hear how outcasted he is and how he tries to escape through drugs, alcohol. I mean, one of the best songs here describing his escapism is Drive. He doesn't even care what the ride is. He could be in a bumped up, messed up hoopty, or he could be in a Ferrari. It doesn't matter. He has to drive, and he tells these stories using these metaphors of these cars and driving. He knows a kid that has crashed on his way to Atlantic City, but he still wants to take that drive anyway. On League of Extraordinary Nobodies as well, he talks about how people have the answers to existence as soon as someone goes. exposing the hypocrisy, seeing everything as all of a joke. He says, welcome to my Poisonville Delight Night, gents, where everything has a meaning, but none of it makes sense. Or no cakes. He's lost and confused, overthinking. Not really overthinking, in my opinion, it's not overthinking, but he's thinking a lot, analyzing the city, the plights of the city. Dear Sirs, where, I mean, one of his most passionate deliveries on any verses on Dear Sirs, when he's yelling, he's like, the president goes to school, it's like he wants to kill all the rapists and everything from the corrupt people at top. I mean, there's so much here, and it's funny because a lot of people, when they talk about this album, they want to talk about the science fiction references and a lot of the dense metaphors and imagery where he talks about he has a computer chip in his mind, but they don't talk about the actual emotional aspects of it. So I wanted to highlight that in my 5 minutes. Hopefully I did that. My 5 minutes is not over, but go ahead, listen to this album after you listen to some Manny Mackins. All right, like, subscribe this video. Like and subscribe to this video and listen to my music, Manny Mackins, on all streaming platforms. All right, go by the name Manny Mackins. Dow. See you later.